So Eddie Howe has been consistent, if anything, this season when he's been asked if Newcastle United are in the race for the Champions League or even in the race for Europe. He's always basically stated it's going to be game by game. Doesn't want to get too carried away. I think the closest he's probably come to accepting that Newcastle are in the best position for 20 odd years is that, he spoke about the transfer recruitment side of things and how they almost have three separate lists of players and targets that they could sign. But realistically, for Newcastle, Eddie Howe, going into the game on Sunday, knew that the importance of this fixture. Was asked if it was the biggest game of the season, and he said he's not going to argue with that. They've had some huge clashes at home this season. Man City, very early on, drew 3-3. Man United beat them 2-0. Liverpool, not so good. Lost that one 2-0 at home when Nick Pope was sent off during that jittery period before the Carabao Cup final. Putting Aston Villa aside at the weekend, Newcastle have pretty much been spot on since the Carabao Cup final. They've won 5 of the last 6 games. They're very much in the shake-up going into the last 8 games. So for Eddie Howe not to be even acknowledging, the Champions League is a great tactic. Look, if Newcastle beat Tottenham Hotspur, they'll be 6 points clear with a game in hand. In the Premier League's top 4, they'll even go to 3rd if they win at the weekend because Man United aren't playing. The fact Man United got knocked out of the Europa League last night increases the opportunity to get one of them top 4 places. It means Man United can't slip out of the top 5 and then suddenly find themselves in the Champions League through the back door. So it's all to play for Newcastle still. Eddie Howe trying to make the most of sort of the build-up to the game and not get drawn into making any rash statements. He was very cautious today, I have to say. He was had his guard up. He didn't want to be drawn into any statements that could get blown up. And I think going into it against Tottenham, I think we all know Tottenham are against the ropes. They've got a manager who doesn't really want to be there. He's just seen out the end of his contract. They've got a chairman under fire. He's picking fights about other teams' budgets, things like that, Daniel Levy. So there's all kinds of things going off at Tottenham. And for Newcastle, it's a real opportunity to take advantage of that. Eddie Howe wasn't drawn into that. He said that he still sees them as a class team. People like Harry Kane in there. He still sees them as tough opposition. He didn't want to, discuss the fact that Tottenham were rattled. So Eddie Howe, very measured in his press conference and looking towards this game, but still without getting carried away, even with 30 games gone, talking about the Champions League. So it's going to be interesting if Newcastle find themselves on the brink of that in the next couple of weeks. But we'll have to wait and see if he changes tact. I'm guessing he won't.